On Thursday, Florida Democratic gubernatorial candidate Charlie Crist campaigned with DNC Chair Jaime Harrison. Crist, a former Republican governor turned Democratic congressman turned gubernatorial aspirant, is seeking to unseat Ron DeSantis, Florida's popular Republican chief executive. Recent polls show Crist trailing DeSantis by at least 8 points, with the recent poll showing him down by 10. Not since he won the governor's mansion in 2006 has Crist won a statewide election, despite 2 attempts. A Senate run in 2010, which he was beaten by Marco Rubio, and a failed 2014 attempt to replace then-Governor Rick Scott. At the campaign event on Thursday, Crist was also joined by his primary opponent, Nikki Fried, who serves as Florida's Agriculture Commissioner. Should DeSantis be taken down, Democrats will have removed a major national Republican figure from public office and perhaps prevented a future President DeSantis.
Wow. Let me tell you, this weather, I didn't expect this in Florida. Y'all ordered this thing up. North Florida. Folks, it is great to be here with all of you at IBW 177. I want to thanks to all of our partners in labor for allowing us to gather here today. Let's give a round of applause. Folks, unions and working people are the backbone of the Democratic Party and the backbone of this country. So I'm glad that we are in such great company. Folks, we are 19 days away from the midterm elections. And this is one of the most important midterm elections of our lifetime. And I'm thrilled. As chair of the Democratic National Committee, I am thrilled to kick off our bus tour here in Jacksonville, Florida. Yes. I was telling the governor and secretary earlier, this ain't my first time in Jacksonville. I spent some time at Ribault and Raines High School. I know about that now. I know about it. But I am so excited because we are ready. We are ready to elect new leadership here in Florida. We are ready to elect Charlie Crist as governor. We are ready. We are ready to elect Val Demings as the next United States Senator. I don't know about y'all, but Marco Rubio don't want to be on that debate stage again with Val. She left some track marks on him. He's drinking a whole lot of water still. But folks, we are also ready to elect Democrats up and down the ballot. That's what I'm talking about. I want to give a special shout out to LJ Holloway, who's running to represent Jacksonville in the 4th Congressional District in Congress. And is here with us today, and we need to help get out that vote. Folks, as we head into November, as you talk to your neighbors and your family members, your co-workers about the midterms, I want to make sure that you know, and you make sure that they know. Uh-oh, Amber Alert. Well, it says, this is a serious one. Make sure you all look at the details. It says Columbia County, a kidnapped child. So let's make sure that we, if we have information or whatever, we make sure we give that to the authorities. But, you know, I want to make sure that we know that that our friends and our families and our coworkers, that they know that this election is about a choice. It's about a choice between 2 options. Democrats want to solve the problems that keep folks up at night. That we've got a track record of getting real results for the American people. Meanwhile, Republicans, they are too busy pushing their extreme MAGA agenda. An agenda that includes abortion bans with no exceptions. An agenda that includes cutting Social Security and Medicare. And an agenda that includes limiting your right to vote. But folks, we can stop them. We can stop them by using our voice at the ballot box. We've got a great event for you all this evening to get you fired up. Florida Democrats, to get you all ready to kick this thing off. And I'd like to first introduce our first speaker, Alan Jones from the local IBEW 177.
What great words about working people and unions. I wouldn't have expected that. My name's Alan Jones. I'm business manager here at IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177. I'd like to give special thanks to one of my brothers, Russell Harper. He works tirelessly for events like this and everything he does with the Central Labor Council and the local Democratic Party. He's retired, but he works harder than ever. But anyway, I'd like to welcome everybody. I was recently at a concert, and somebody said, one of the performers said something about the drummers in the bands in the union. He couldn't do something. He was just joking. Somebody stood up. Florida's not a union state. It's all I could do to keep him standing up and putting him in his place. But I held it in. But I'm here to tell you the unions are here to stay, and we're going to, with the help of our local and state and federal officials, we're going to get better and better at representing working people. Thank you.
Let me also add this, Alan. We have probably the most pro-union president that we've ever had in the history of this nation. There is not a moment that Joe Biden doesn't get in front of a microphone and mention how important unions are to this country. They are the lifeblood of this country. So, Alan, I want to thank you and your brothers and sisters of the labor union for all that you do each and every day. And now I'd like to welcome a proud Jacksonville native and city councilman, Jacoby Pittman.
Duval! Come on, y'all. Duval! Listen, I don't know about you, but I know about me. But what I can say, I hope I can count on each of you all, because you all know why we're here. Why we're here? Why we're here today? Why we're here today? Okay, I heard all of that. But what I want to say that the next 19 days, they are very important. These races are critical. We need to make sure that no Democrat is left behind. No Democrat is left behind. So we already know we got your vote, right? So what I need you all to do, it's already done. What I need each of you all to do, this is the challenge that I had last time, because I want to know how many of you all have already encouraged people to vote. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. How many of y'all are going to encourage 10 more people to vote? Raise your hand. So listen, we're all in. What we need to do is get some more people in. And Val, when she goes to Washington, D.C., we know that we can count on her. Now, she sent me a text, and I know she sent y'all a text too. She needs some what? Y'all ain't saying that loud enough. She needs some what? She needs some money. So she can't get where she's going until we give her some what? Money. We have until November the 3rd, is that right? November the 3rd. Now, if you can't give her $5 or $10, guess what? $5 or $10 make a difference. So I hope that I can count on each of you all, because you know she works tirelessly. I don't even know how she sleeps. That means that we got to work tirelessly to get her elected. So I'm gonna say tonight, I'm gonna give her some more money. Okay? And I want each of you all, I want you to raise your hand. Now, you ain't got to tell me how much you want to give. I don't care if it's $2. You understand? Grassroots campaigns win. Okay? They win. And so what I'm asking you to do today, tonight, go on her website and give us some money. Okay, can I count on y'all to do that? Oh, yeah. I can say today that we've committed to raising some more money, and getting Val what? Elected. And remember, this is my motto, and I want it to be yours. Y'all repeat after me. Do all the good you can. Do all the good you can. Do all the good you can. For Val. In all the ways you can. In all the ways you can. For Val. In all the places you can. In all the places you can. For Val. In all the ways you can. All the ways you can. And she can win. Amen. Y'all take care. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And we also have in the crowd here Michael Anderson, who's running for Florida State House District 17. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. So now here to join us is a woman who is standing up every day for the people of Jacksonville. Your state representative and candidate for state senate, Tracy Davis.
So Jacoby started off with Duval. I'm going to want you to say, vote them out. Say it with me. Vote them out. Say it with me. Vote them out. Say it with me. Vote them out. Didn't that feel good? I am State Representative Tracy Davis, and I am so glad to be here, but I'm also glad to be your nominee for Florida Senate District 5. But before I go on, I'm looking through the crowd, and I want us to pay homage to the current state senator, Senator Audrey Gibson. Thank you, Senator Gibson, for all you have done for the city of Jacksonville and all of us here today, as well as the community. Thank you, Governor Crist and U.S. State Senator Jaime Harrison, for this opportunity, for having the city of Jacksonville on your mind today. Every cycle you hear, this is the most important election of our time, right? Cliche, but it's true. Because the stakes keep getting higher and higher. We've seen women's rights attacked, Roe versus Wade. We've seen the Republican Congress oppose legislation that would lower the cost of living for millions of Americans. We've seen our LGBTQIA Floridians and students targeted and demonized. We've been on the front lines fighting for voting rights in the midst of a Republican-led legislature that attempts to disenfranchise hardworking Floridians every step of the way. Are you tired? Yes. Are you tired? Yes. So what are we going to do? Vote them out. What are we going to do? Vote them out. One more time. Vote them out. Feels good, doesn't it? Ron DeSantis has sat back and done nothing while homeowners are being priced out of their homes as property insurance rates continue to skyrocket. Governor, I hope I'm not taking any of your speech. It's time to fight back and demand more from our leaders. That's why it's so important to elect strong, principled Democrats. Again, we need Val Demings for U.S. Senate, right? We must make DeSantis a one-term governor, right? And we're going to elect a replacement by the name of Charlie Crist. Sounds good, doesn't it, Governor? We need to make Adam Hattersley our new CFO. Where's Adam? And we must continue to elect other candidates like LJ Holloway for CD4, Lakeisha Burton for sheriff, me for your next state senator. And make sure that we are supporting the rest of the candidates up and down the ballot. Up and down the ballot. We have to also make sure that we are bringing talking to, motivating, empowering, and when I'm in churches, I say drag our 18 to 30-year-olds to the polls. There is nothing we are saying to them that's motivating them. There's nothing we're sending them that's urging them to vote. So it's up to us. And it's a job. But I'm going to be as blunt as I normally am. If we don't have those 18 to 30-year-olds voting with us, we are not going to be successful. Do you all hear me? We need them more now than ever. So I'm going to finish. This is not a fight we asked for. You all know I know my lines for my commercial. This is not a fight we asked for, but it is a fight we're going to win. This is a fight we can win. And we win this fight by showing up at the polls November the 8th with our 18 to 30-year-olds in tow. And we're voting for a better Jacksonville, and we're voting for a better state of Florida. And we can do that with the man leading the helm, Governor Charlie Crist.
Thank you, Senator, because you know we got to go ahead and claim it. Thank you. We claim it around here. And I do want to give another special shout out to Adam Hattersley, who is running for CFO for the state of Florida. Folks, it is indeed now my pleasure and my honor to welcome someone that you all know so clearly. She fights the fight for y'all every single day as the lone Democrat on the statewide officer right now. Folks, please me in joining in welcoming a fierce fighter for hardworking Floridians, my good friend, the Agriculture Commissioner, Nikki Freed.
Good evening, Duval. And want to append thank you to our brothers and sisters for opening up the Union Hall. You know, I remember 2 years ago, I was standing on a pickup truck right here doing a campaign rally, and everybody said to me, Commissioner, you're okay walking on that with your heels? I was like, I'm the Commissioner of Agriculture. I know how to get on the back of a pickup truck. So it is truly a great partnership between the union and this community, and it is my honor to be here with you all today. But we've got 2 weeks. We've got only 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks to deliver champions who will fight for Florida. 2 weeks to have champions who are going to stand up for women's rights to choose. 2 weeks to build an economy that working families can afford here in the state of Florida. And 2 weeks to make Ron DeSantis a one-term governor. And 2 weeks to make him a zero-term president of the United States. But before we get there, we've got to turn out our vote. That is why we've got a chairman who is here, who is starting the bus tour right here in Duval, right here in Florida, because we know the road to democracy, the road to the White House runs directly through Florida. So that's why we start here. And so I want to thank you, Chairman, for being here today and recognizing how important Florida is and how important Duval County is. We flipped Duval in 2018. We flipped Duval in 2020. And now we're going to keep Duval in 2022. You know, the DNC has committed at least $70 million to investments in states for 2022 midterm elections. That includes millions to the 57 states and territories supporting long-term party building, and especially here in the state of Florida. They have doubled their investment than they did in 2018. And Chairman, I cannot thank you enough for that. This is truly building a relationship and a party. And together we will take on special interests. Together we will lower the cost of living and protect the freedoms to make our own choices when it comes to healthcare. Now, you all have probably heard me say this a lot in the last 4 years. My mom is a diehard Democrat, was a teacher for 25 plus years. My dad is a diehard Republican. It's okay. We do a lot of praying for him. We do a lot of praying for him. So I know what it's like to be debating a Republican on a pretty consistent basis. And that is exactly what I have been doing for the last 4 years, taking it to Ron DeSantis every single day and being your champion up in Tallahassee. But there is no debating what is on this ballot in 19 days. Ron DeSantis is the most extreme elected official in the entire country. He is the most threatening to our democracy. Now, the other guy that lives a little bit further south of here, he is the greatest threat to our national security, but DeSantis is our greatest threat to our democracy. He's already taken away our Black congressional districts from right here. So you know what we are up against. He has done everything in his power to disenfranchise our voters, limit freedom of speech, and he has been plotting a radical abortion ban. And he has been doing nothing to lift up our families. But if you happen to be a Venezuelan who happens to be leaving for political asylum, he's got a first-class ticket to Martha's Vineyard. This is all the opposite of what democracy is, of what democracy looks like, of what freedom looks like. This guy likes to talk a lot about freedom. But what I have been seeing from his administration for the last 4 years is the exact opposite of freedom. And so we've got to be able to fight. Because something else I've said on a pretty normal basis. Our system isn't broken. Our system is working exactly how they have designed it to work. That is on Ron DeSantis. That is on Marco Rubio. But it is on us to show up at the polls and vote them out of office. Because we've got two things that we have to talk about. The first thing is freedom. It's a word that this guy who went to Harvard and Yale doesn't seem to understand what the word freedom actually means. To him, freedom means the freedom to get on to Fox News and to talk to Fox News and to their people. That's the freedom that he thinks. But if you don't look like him, don't sound like him, don't think like him, your freedoms are on the chopping block. And he's not just coming to control women. He's taking Black representation in Congress. It's freedom out of our classrooms, out of our teachers. He's taking away our history. It's suffocating. But we've got the power to stop this. That nothing is over until every ballot is counted. And I can tell you from back in 2018, we fought hard to make sure that every ballot was counted. As somebody who won by 6,753 votes out of 8.2 million cast, Duval showed up for me, and I know Duval's going to show up for this ticket. Second issue that we got to be talking to the voters about is affordability. We can't live here anymore. Where is that single mom who's already working 2 jobs? Where is she living? Where is our union brothers and sisters living? They're having to work 2 or 3 jobs just to barely make ends meet. The last time I was here in Duval, I went to a senior community center, and a woman came up to me who happened to have been 80 years old, and she's living in Section 8 housing, and she says, Nikki, my rent just got increased by $700. What am I going to do? She's 80. But this is what's happening here in the state of Florida. This is what's happening under Ron DeSantis. For even Rick Scott to call you out on affordability, you know that he's got to be doing something wrong. That's what we got here. That literally everything in the state of Florida is more expensive. Our rent's more expensive. Our taxes are more expensive. Our gas is more expensive. Our housing is more expensive. That's not a DC problem. That is a Ron DeSantis problem. And that is what is here in the state of Florida. And don't let anybody else out there tell you otherwise. This is on Ron DeSantis. Not Joe Biden, but Ron DeSantis. So we know we've got committed candidates up and down the ballot. You saw Adam Hattersley, who's in the crowd, who's running to be your next CFO. You got Ayala Aramis, who's running to be your next Attorney General. You got Naomi Blumers running to be your next Commissioner of Agriculture. And we know that Val Demings is committed to this cause and committed to flip our state. We know that Charlie Crist is committed to the people of this state. We know that we've got candidates up and down our ballots that we've got to come out and we've got to support. And we've got to show that commitment to every single mom who can't afford rent, that commitment to that Black entrepreneur competing in a rigged system, committed to our teachers who just want to teach, committed to our LGBTQ plus communities who just want to be themselves, and committed to anyone who escaped tyranny looking for real freedom. Commitment to that teenager who's lost control of her own body. Committed to everybody that Ron DeSantis has spent the last 4 years trying to silence. This is our chance to show our voice at that ballot box, because this is what Democrats do. We show up, we fight, and we make sure that we are fighting for everybody. And that is a promise that we as Democrats continue to uphold. Early voting starts here in Duval on October 24th and goes to November 6th from 7 to 7. Don't wait. Show up early. Bring people to the polls and go vote. This is what a united front looks like. This is how we're going to flip our state. This is how we're going to restore democracy here in the state of Florida. And this is how we're going to win elections. Now, it has been my absolute honor and my privilege to represent you in that Florida cabinet for the last 4 years. And I know what it looks like to fight. And we've got some true champions that are running for office up and down this ballot. And you know what we don't do? We don't back down. So thank you, Duval, and let's go do this.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for all you do. Now joining us to share their story and to talk about why this election matters is local organizer Veronica Glover.
All right, everybody. So just in case you're wondering who this woman is that the governor is hugging all along, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I am a mother of 4 boys and 2 daughters, and a grandmother of 8. Now make me break down that because I can't count that off the top of my head. And so the panel has already told you all the things that we need and all the things that's wrong and what our list of candidates can fix. That we need dynamic individuals and all the females on the ballot. Y'all, I'm excited about that. And I'm even going to go out as far because, see, I'm not running for a political office, nor do I have a desire to do so. So let me say, I'm also excited when I see all the black girl magic up and down the ballot. Oh, yeah, I'm excited about that. And so from my perspective, I have some concerns that many of you out here don't have. See, it's important for me that they repeal Stand Your Ground because I'm a mother of Black sons and Black grandsons. So it's important. It's important to me to have someone who will fight for prescription medication. Because y'all, I'm starting to get my own prescription. You know, and they are expensive. It is important that our seniors and our everyday working citizens have an affordable place to live. Now, all of us want this, right? And I'm going to say we are fired up. And I want y'all to say ready to go. All right, I'm going to say what? I'm going to say fired up. I'm going to need you to say ready to go. All right, here we go. Fired up. Ready to go. Fired up. Ready to go. Fired up. Ready to go. Now, raise your hand if you want to win. Okay. All right. Now, see, I'm glad to see all this energy right here. But in addition to giving money, I need you to call your children, your grandchildren, your church ministry, your social group, your neighbors, and I need you to knock on each and every door and say, hey, are you voting Democrat up and down the ballot? Are you supporting Governor Crist? Are you supporting L.J. Holloway, Tracy Davis, and Val Demings? You want to make sure there's clarity. And I like the clarity, and I like to go as far as to say, do you need a ride? Okay? Because let me make a note. So right now, I work for the Florida Democratic Party, but I would be out here in these streets even if I did not. But what we need? We need some foot soldiers on the ground. We need somebody to help us make these phone calls, call these NPAs, call these people that are teetering. Oh, well, I ain't made up my mind yet. You need to make up your mind. Early vote starts Monday. So what I need for you to do so that we can elect these officials back here and change the dynamics of Jacksonville that have been up under pitiful Republican rule for the last 20 plus years. All of them need to go. And this needs to be how we get it started. So raise your hand if, the address to the Beach's office is 3120 Beach Boulevard. Don't rah with me now. I need you to rah tomorrow on these phones, the next day on these doors. That's what I need you to do. The address to the office is 3120. We got organizers, Marcus and Miss Ernestine and Amber. We all have a different section of town that we work. We can't win. I can't win for you, Adam, unless we get some boots on the ground. Where you at? There you go. We need some boots on the ground. Call your children, call your grandchildren, especially call the young people, because my knees can't make it up and down these stairs like they used to. Okay, so 3120 Beach Boulevard, we need you to help us elect. No. We need you to make sure that the next time the governor is in Duval, it's official. That the next time we see L.J. Holloway, it's official. The next time we see Tracy, it's official. The next time we see Val, it's official. And it can't get done if you don't step out, put your boots on the ground, your finger on the dollar, and let us help make it happen. Thank you.
Folks, y'all got your marching orders. Miss Veronica has already said she needs y'all in these streets. Come on now. Come on, Jacksonville. We need you in the streets, knocking on doors, making them phone calls. Thank you, Miss Veronica. I'm going to take her to D.C. with me. Yeah. Let me just say this, folks. Y'all are fired up. Y'all are fired up because we are going to elect Democrats up and down the ticket. And we are ready to give Ron DeSantis a first-class ticket to Venezuela. We don't have to worry about the Venezuelans going to Martha's Vineyard. We'll send him down there. Folks, I want you to give a warm. Not warm. I want y'all to give a hot. Because y'all know what hot is. I want y'all to give a hot Jacksonville welcome to the next governor of the great state of Florida, Charlie Crist. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jacksonville. Thank you, Duval. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. God bless you. Really, for the chairman to take the time to come to Florida, to come to Jacksonville. God bless him. Give him a round of applause. Love you, brother. We got 19 days to go. Are you ready? Have you had enough of his bullying? Have you had enough of him treating teachers like dirt? Have you had enough of a governor that is so arrogant it's unbelievable? All he cares about is millionaires and billionaires. He doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about working folks. He doesn't care about anything that really matters to real people in a real way. You know what he does care about? Running for president in 2024. That's all he cares about. That's all he thinks about. That's all he's doing. That's why our property insurance is through the roof. He has completely taken his eye off the ball on affordability in Florida. You know, Florida is rated the most expensive state to live in America, more than California, more than New York by Forbes magazine. And you know it because you're living it. Have you tried to fill up with gas lately? Yeah, well, he didn't do anything about it until right before Election Day.
What an insincere son of a gun. I mean, come on. How stupid does he think we are? I think he does, and he's pretty damn wrong, as you know. You know, and how about your utility bills? You seen them go up? I have too. You know who regulates utility companies in our state? It's something called the Public Service Commission. And you know who appoints the members of it? The governor. And they have become the lapdogs of the utility industry instead of the watchdogs for the people of our state. It is not. You are correct, my friend. Everybody here knows that, but we got to telegraph it like you just did. And it's important. So thank you. Well, I've had enough of this clown. I know you have. You know, this guy went to Harvard and Yale, and he can't figure out what's important in education in Florida. That is shocking. It's unbelievable. You know, we've lost 9,000 teachers and staff in our Florida schools on his watch. 9,000. The property insurance that we're having to pay in the state of Florida is 3 times the national average and is the most expensive in America on his watch. This is his Florida. This is what he's done to our state. He has torn apart our people. He is a divider, not a uniter. If you're LGBTQ, he talks you down. If you're a woman, you got no respect. None. I'm an only son. I was raised with 3 sisters. I understood the importance and the respect that women deserve as a little boy. He hasn't figured it out as a man. But we know it. When he signed a bill, this legislative session, the 15-week bill, that didn't even, an abortion ban, that did not even include exceptions for rape or incest, is he out of his mind? Evidently so. And then just last week, we heard this sad, tragic story from Planned Parenthood having to treat a middle school aged girl near Jacksonville who was a victim of incest, became impregnated, and because of the law DeSantis signed, couldn't get the cure she needed and the care she needed. She had to go out of state. That's what Ron has done to our state. Enough is enough. Help is on the way. We got 19 days to get this done. And this race is tight as a tick. Now, I need you to do something for me. Go out and vote for Val. All right? All right? We need a great turnout. We need a great turnout for all up and down the ticket. Go out and vote for Adam. It's important. We got to have those people in the cabinet. You know, go out and vote for Aramis. We need these people to win. Vote for our state Senate candidates, our members of Congress. Leave no Democrat behind. And I guarantee you, in 20 days, it's going to be oh happy day. Finally. God bless you. Thank you for coming out and vote like hell. God bless you.
Oh, wait a minute, y'all. I forgot. Make sure we elect our first female sheriff, Letitia Burke.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, she ready. Jacksonville, folks, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. Early voting starts on Monday. And we cannot sit this one out. As you've heard from every speaker today, there is far too much at stake. The right to choose is on the ballot. Protecting Social Security and Medicare is on the ballot. Our education system is on the ballot. The treatment of our young people is on the ballot. How we treat the LGBTQ community is on the ballot. Lowering healthcare costs is on the ballot. Protecting the right to vote is on the ballot. Dropping the pricing of rents and home ownership is all on the ballot. I don't know, but maybe marijuana's on the ballot too. But let me tell you something else. The superpower of the Republican Party is fraud and fear. The superpower of this party is hope. Hope is on the ballot. Folks, I'm going to close this today by telling you my story of hope. The thing that keeps me going each and every day to fight this fight, because it's the fight that we have to. I was raised by my grandparents who had a 4th grade and an 8th grade education. My mom dropped out of school when she was 16 years old. Faith and hope was something that they taught each and every day. In the morning when you woke up, and at night when you went to bed. You know, I've been fortunate because I've lived a blessed life. I got an opportunity to work on Capitol Hill with the legendary Congressman Jim Clyburn. Y'all know Mr. Clyburn. I also work with the legendary icon, my friend who I miss every single day, the late John Lewis. Well, folks, when I was 30 years old, I had an office in the direct center of the U.S. Capitol, on the 3rd floor, right above the Speaker's offices. On one side, I shared a wall with John Kerry. On the other side, I shared a wall with John Lewis. I could look out my window and see the Washington Monument. So as I was saying, that's the best real estate I ever had in my life. Well, there was one night I was sitting working in my office. It was midnight. It was so late that the custodial staff showed up. And there was this middle-aged African-American woman vacuuming and cleaning things off. And I noticed her, but I just went back to work. And then finally, you know that feeling you get when you feel like somebody's looking at you, staring at you. But I looked up, and there she was in the doorway. And I said to her, I said, ma'am, do you need to come in? I said, you're my boss. I'll go out in the hallway and work. And she smiled, and she said, no, son, you sit there and do your work. She said, you know, I come and clean your office every night. You have a nice office. And I said, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. She said, now, you know, I love looking at your pictures on the wall. She said, now, are you from South Carolina? I said, yes, ma'am. I'm from Mr. Clyburn's district. She said, oh, okay. She went to my wall and she picked up one picture and she said, is this a picture of your family? I said, yes, ma'am, that is. In this picture, is that your mother? Yes, ma'am, that's my mom. Is your mom's name Patricia? Yes, ma'am. My mom's name is Patricia. Patricia Harrison? Yes, Patricia Harrison is my mom. And she stopped in the middle of the floor and she started shaking and she put her hand to her mouth. She said, oh my God, oh my God. I know your mother. I went to high school with your mom. I remember when your mom became pregnant with you and had to stop school in order to have you. Tears started flowing from her eyes and I got teary-eyed. She came up and she hugged me and she said, I would have never thought that Patricia Harrison's son would be right here. You give me hope. Folks, in this country, it should not matter who you are, what you come from, how much money you have, who you love, who you pray to. You should be able to live the American dream. That is the hope that the Democratic Party fights for each and every single day. That is why Joe Biden fights so hard. That is why Kamala Harris fights so hard. That is why Val Demings was fighting for y'all on that debate stage. On next Monday, that is why Crist is going to take it to DeSantis. It is to make sure that every little boy, every little girl, everybody who wants to be something in this life can be. That is who we are as a party. And that is why we are on this road, and we're going to be on this road from now to November the 8th to make sure that every single person, regardless if you're a Democrat or a Republican, that you can voice yourself and you can go to the polls and vote. In South Carolina, our motto is, while I breathe, I hope. Think about that. While I breathe, I hope. Now, I grew up in the Baptist church, and I know hope is good. Hope is good, but we know in the good book it says faith without works is what? Is dead. So in order to make that hope real, y'all, there's some elbow grease that needs to happen. The boots needs to get on the ground. So between now and these 19 days, our motto as a party, it ain't gonna be while I breathe, I hope. It's gonna be while I breathe, I vote. Because that is how we make hope real here in Duval County. That is how we make hope real all across Florida. That is how we bring hope back to America. Folks, y'all ready? You ready to do this thing? You ready to turn it out? They say Florida can't be flipped, but by God, y'all gonna do it on November 8th. Let's go. Let's vote. Let's do this, folks.